Hey guys, it's Drummond. So 2019 is here and I promised that I would get back on track with uploading a video every week, so here we go. Last week I did kind of like what I've always done with the whole slideshow of my 2018, and even though 2018 was a wreck, literally had 2 wrecks in 1 year, but thankfully the second one wasn't so bad. My car came out unscratched and so did I. First one, not so much, but it's 2019, so we're starting fresh. So today's video, I wanted to talk about something that someone asked me when I was on a date. And they asked, would I be willing to date someone that wasn't Christian? Mainly because he was Christian and so am I, and he wanted to know if I would ever date someone that didn't really believe in God. And it took me a second to answer it because I'm the type of person that I don't like to make preconceived judgments on people. So someone being a Christian doesn't necessarily mean I'm just like, oh, nope, they're out. But it's also nice to date people who have similar interests as you, and your faith is something that's really big, especially for me. It's something that has gotten me through so much and it's really important to me. But I've also never been the type of person to shove my beliefs down someone's throat. So I wanted to talk about some things that have happened in my past and how they kind of molded my view on the world. So my first relationship, we were both Christians and we were both in the process of learning how to accept ourselves for being gay. And it was a struggle, mainly because every single time something went wrong in our relationship, I don't know about him, but I know in my mind, I was just like, maybe this is God saying that this is wrong and this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And he's making this relationship horrible so that I will go back to trying to date girls. And to be honest, you can't think that way. I understand that that is your mind process when it comes to being a Christian and when things are going wrong in your life, that God's trying to steer you away from that. But you have to realize that also, even in a straight relationship, you're going to have issues and you can't think that God is steering you away from something. Now, I most definitely believe that God puts people in your life for a reason, and I most definitely believe that when things go extremely wrong, that you need to walk away. But in my first relationship, there was physical abuse and mental abuse, and it was just a horrible relationship. And I think the fact that it was my first relationship with a guy and it was my first sexual relationship, I kind of held on to that because I believed God only wanted me to be with one person, and I felt like the church already condemned me for being gay, and I didn't want to be a gay person that was having sex with tons of different people. So I clung on to that relationship because of my Christian beliefs, and honestly, it was such a bad place to be, and I'm so glad that my friends pulled me out of that. So with my second relationship, I believe he was brought up Christian, but him and his family were kind of lenient on their Christian beliefs. They celebrated Christmas and Easter and all of that, and they'd go to church on those holidays, but not really anything in between. And it was a decent relationship. His family were good people. He was a good person for a while. When it came to our relationship with God, it kind of fell onto me. I was kind of the one going to church by myself, and I had my friends in church, and that's kind of where I met some of the best people in my life. But I also have met tons of people who aren't Christian that are just as good of people. So when it comes to limiting myself to dating only Christians, I most definitely don't believe I would ever do that to myself, mainly because me being a Christian is my relationship with God and not so much my relationship with my boyfriend. I believe that through my relationship with God, he can work his wonders, and if my boyfriend sees the love that I put out into the world, that I only have the power to put out into the world because of my relationship with God, he will eventually want to know why and how that's possible for me, because I have most definitely gone through some really hard times, and it's my faith in God, and I believe that God has put people in my life to pull me through it, and somehow I managed to keep smiling and keep pushing forward. But this video isn't about me trying to make you believe that you have to have a relationship with God. I think it's great and it's definitely helped me, but it's definitely not something that I think that everyone has to do to be a good person. I've actually met several Christian people who say they go to church and go out and do some good deeds, but then the things that they say and do behind closed doors or in the public is really not what I would view as Christian. I actually went to church one day and everyone was just so happy, and then we left church to go get lunch, and while we were standing in line at a Subway to get food, a person that had just left church started being extremely rude to the person that was making the sandwich, and I was just like, wow, you just got out of church and you're already acting like this. So for me, I think that there's a lot more to choosing who you're going to date than labeling someone as Christian and gay and being like, perfect match. I've most definitely met a lot of Christians here living in Lynchburg because of Liberty University. And honestly, I think we're all on different levels of our journey. And I think the best thing to do is try to find someone that's on the same level as you, or at least close. Because I believe when it comes to accepting yourself for being gay and still holding on to your Christian religion, it's hard. It's not an easy path at all. I've most definitely struggled. There have been times where I'm just like, I hate Christians. There's times where I'm just like, God, I hate the gay community. And I think it's just the constant struggle that I've had to learn how to come to accept myself for both things. And I've found that happy place in the middle where I love myself for everything that I am. So when I see Christians that can't love gay people, or gay people who hate Christians, it's just really hard for me to understand where all the hate comes from. Because I grew up Christian, it was a long process for me to learn how to accept myself for being gay. I think for a while I was loving myself for being gay and learning how to accept myself by letting go of my Christian beliefs for a little bit. And then I tried to pull those back, and then I started to hate myself for being gay. And then it finally got to the point where I started doing research into the Christian faith and the history around Christianity, and then I started doing research on the gay community and all the things that they've had to go through to get to where we are today. And it's really just all about educating yourself and finding a happy medium, because I believe in God. I believe that there are so many things that are unanswered through science. I'm not a huge believer in the Bible, which a lot of people of the Christian faith say that if you don't believe in the Bible, you can't call yourself a Christian. But I definitely feel like when it comes to the Bible, it was written by man, and as much as God would like to say, hey, these guys have the right to write a Bible that you guys should follow, I believe that man can twirl his evil into anything, and I think that they twisted a lot of their own beliefs into the Bible. So yeah, about that. It's a tricky little subject, but that's my belief, and I'm not asking anyone else to share it. It's just that's how I feel. I'm going to try to find someone who makes me feel happy. I'm going to try to find someone who is a lot like me in the fact that he just wants to find happiness in the world and share it with me. And because that's all I want to do is find happiness, travel the world, and meet as many new people, learn as many new things. And that's what I'm looking for in someone. So to answer the guy's question, yes, it would be nice to have someone that follows the same religion as me and beliefs as I do, but that's hard to do because we've all grown up and had our own things happen to us to where we believe a certain thing, and I don't expect someone to believe everything that I believe because I've grown up. Everything that I've gone through has formed me into the person that I am, and he'll grow up and everything that's been around him will form him into the person that he is. All I hope is that there's someone out there that clicks with me and we can find happiness together, and even if we have some disagreements or things that we don't agree upon, we'll just find a way through it and continue to keep loving each other through it all. But I hope you guys like this video. I will see you guys next week. Bye.